Hello, and welcome
to Sort of the Story.
I'm Janey.
And I'm Max.
And this is the podcast that's not for children. That tells fairy
This is
tales.
the podcast that's not for children.
Welcome. We're going to talk about fairy tales, folk tales, mythology, and anything else we want to talk about.
Where do boogers come from? We'll tell you. But not if you're a child. Get out of here.
Yeah, you don't need to know where they come from if you're a child. You just need to know that they've come. That they're here. And they're in your nose.
When a mommy booger and a daddy booger look each other
right now. Anyway, we're here, and also you are here.
Wow, we're all here.
I put that in because somebody gave us the comment that you can text us now. P.S. You can go into like the app and it says send us a text, and it sends us a text, but we can't reply back. But somebody sent us one that was like, I do the intro with you guys. Like, I'll do the whole thing because I'm so used to hearing it. But after you finish, like, and also you are here. Right after that, I'll say, but children are not here. Because it just makes sense to do that earlier. Anyway, so I was like, let's do it as early as possible. And then I threw myself off because it was too early.
Hi, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to be here if you're a child.
And also, I am here. Hi. It's me. Your old pal, Janey.
I bet you're wondering how I got here.
Well, it all started with my mom.
She was a booger.
She met a funny little guy called my dad.
And he was also a booger.
And they made me
a booger. We're really good at Mad Libs.
Yeah, I think we should write a book together.
Let's do it.
Where I do a sentence and the only thing you add is a booger.
Yep.
So, yeah, anyway, welcome to our very professional podcast.
We're adults.
Where we are adults.
And
also,
grown-ups.
You hopefully are also a grown-up.
Yeah.
What's up, Max? Welcome to episode 132.
132. I have it in my notes as 130, and I don't know where I went wrong. I keep checking, and I don't know where I went wrong.
Well, you know what you probably did? Was every once in a while. You skipped Macbeth. Oh, yeah, because Macbeth was supposed to be 129. And then also, you've done a couple times where you accidentally, or where you thought we were recording the regular episode and it ended up being a bonus episode.
I didn't do that, though. I wrote bonus episode at the beginning of the one before this. So I don't know. There's a whole missing
Maybe
episode.
Your brain was like, this is the skipping one, you know? This is
I don't think my brain worked on it that hard.
Your brain was like, we have to fix this for her. Come on, boys. Let's get to work. And then there was like a montage with little brain people in construction outfits. Mm-hmm. But they were too busy trying on their construction outfits.
Oh, they're just shoveling bits of gray matter into a furnace.
Let's get to work. Erase everything.
We gotta start fresh.
No one must know.
The groundwater is poisoned.
And then it's just them running around like, ah! There's one in the back going, my glasses.
I can't see without my glasses.
Come on, guys. Anyway, that's what Max's brain looks like. I think that's pretty...
I started following this guy on Instagram, and every day he wades into a bog.
Yeah.
And he's so fucking weird about it.
Yeah, he's not cool about it.
No, he's a
creature.
He wears like waders, and he like steps into the bog and he goes like, oh, getting in the bog, but I'm staying dry. Got my waders on for wading. And that's what it's like in my brain at any given time.
Yeah. Somebody's just in there
stomping around in the gray matter. Yep. Welcome to the swamp, ladies and gentlemen.
Speaking of brains, I got my OCD assessment back.
Hey.
Guys.
How swampy are you?
Okay, so surprising no one, I have OCD. Surprising everyone, I do not have ADHD. So, if you've been following the saga, listen, this is just how I am. Apparently there's no medical diagnosis for it. So all of the tangents we go on, that's normal. And cool, actually. Doctoral diagnosis. Normal
Either that
cool.
or my ADHD is so powerful that I'm infecting you.
Oh, it's like we get on the same ADHD cycle where you like suck me into your cycle.
Yes.
Wow, she's like
I'm toxic.
Powerful moon mother.
Hated that.
You don't like being called powerful moon mother?
Hated it. Oh my God, I hated it.
Well, maybe we should talk about it for the next 3 hours instead of doing the podcast to really prove the diagnosis. But yeah, don't have a diagnosis for ADHD. Do have one for OCD. Specifically, again, not surprising, the doctor was going through my IQ test sections, and he was like, you're very high on all of these things. He's like, but you're inconsistent, where some of them will be like 90 and some of them will be like 98 and then one will be like 94 and the next one will be 99. And he's like, so you're consistently high in most of your test results, but you're inconsistent. And as soon as you get kind of like a lower one that, again, I have to stress, is still a good grade, it seems like the next one gets even worse because you get a little bit down on yourself. But then we give you something that you like to do, like the coding one, and it shoots up to 99. And then everything else there, he's like, so what I'm thinking is happening is every time you're not doing perfectly, your brain tells you, maybe I have ADHD. Maybe I'm bad, actually. Maybe I'm sick.
Wow, so people who have ADHD are bad now and sick?
Yeah.
Wow. I
said maybe. But he was like, so, no, there's no diagnosis except that you're a perfectionist who needs to be nicer to yourself. And I was like, oh, wow, are you want to be my dad? Are you saying you love me? Like, I love him so much. But he basically gave me the, hey, you psycho, you don't have to have 100 on every assignment. You don't need a gold star.
No.
And he's wrong, and I'm getting a second opinion.
You deserve a gold star for the amount of hard work that you do. I do feel like if you received a gold star, you wouldn't believe that you deserved it.
Or I would use that as my metric for the next time I did anything.
Yep. Yes.
Anyway, that was what the assessment did. I also got diagnosed with being the type of person that thinks if I do right, everything will go right, a disease.
Yep.
Which was correct, and also lower your voice when you're talking to me. It's a little rude. Overall, if you're thinking about doing an assessment, do it. It was very eye-opening. It was very interesting. It was good to know, and I'm happy I have it. And now I get to take my results and take them back to my therapist, and she and I are going to go over it for the next couple sessions.
Pretty exciting.
Yeah, I'm very excited. He also said, good. You could benefit from medication. And then the look of horror on my face, he's like, okay, well, that's something you're going to talk with your therapist about. What's her name again? And then he wrote her name down, and I was like, oh, he's going to email her. He's going to tell on me. Oh,
no. Yeah. To be clear, Janey has opinions about medication for herself. I have opinions about medication for myself. We're not saying it's good or bad.
I have been taking magnesium, and that took me a while to work up the courage to take magnesium. I told my therapist that my big fear at that point was, well, if I'm not stressed, then what if I just stop doing stuff? She was like, oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, that's the...
I was like, if I calm down, what if I stop functioning, I can't do that. And she was like, what does that mean? What does that mean, Janey? I was like, I don't know. But also, if I can avoid not having to pay for medication because I live in America, I would really prefer not to do that.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
I am on medication, which has saved my life, and I have to pay so much money for it. The United States is so stupid.
Guys, if you're thinking, the United States sounds amazing for healthcare, where do you live?
What have you heard?
Where?
It was a lie.
Who you been talking to? My mom? She thinks it's amazing. But you know why she thinks that? Because she's on TRICARE, which is socialized medicine.
Jesus.
Oh my God, I just made myself so mad.
I've already revealed this jump scare on the podcast in previous episodes, but...
Max is voting for Trump this election. Okay, rip the Band-Aid off. Oh no, Max's eye just started twitching so hard. We had to tell them, Max. They deserve to know.
I'm not doing that. No, when I was a freelancer and I was paying my own insurance, I was paying $800 a month for my insurance.
Jesus.
In addition to the $650 that I had to pay for my medications.
That's just our rent.
Yeah. It's just full, like the rent for our house every month to function. And it's not like it's an option to not have insurance.
No. What is it?
It's literally not.
$900 to get an inhaler.
Yeah.
It costs,
not to mention, you're literally not allowed to not have insurance.
And how much money is it to be in an ambulance in the United States? Okay, this isn't what this podcast is about. Hi, guys.
Thousands of dollars.
Welcome to our storytelling fairy tale podcast. We're so excited to have you here. If you're like, but I want to talk more about insurance, what's wrong with you?
Send me an email.
You can email us at sortofthestory@gmail.com. You can text us, and I've been having a great time with the texts. I've been posting all the funniest ones that's made me laugh out loud. I've been posting them to our stories. So if you have a funny one, or if you want to rant about health insurance, text us. Or join our Discord.
Yeah, join our Discord by joining the Patreon at the $3 tier, which gives you access to the Discord, which includes the book club, and also hang out with us anytime.
Yeah.
Whatever, we're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Memes.
Whatever.
Talk about your pets.
Or for $7 a month, you can get a whole bonus episode. It's a full-length episode, one of our normal episodes, but bonuser. We release one every month for our patrons at the $7 tier. So you can check that out at the link in the show notes for this episode and every episode.
Yeah.
One time I went to an urgent care and they gave me an Advil and told me to calm down, and then I got a bill for $3,600.
I went to the emergency room one time because I had been hit by a car, and they made me wait for 6 hours, which is fair. It was a New York City emergency
Which is
room.
fair?
It is fair in that everyone was waiting 6 hours. They didn't just make me wait for 6 hours.
It's unfair that everyone was waiting for 6 hours.
Yeah, but it was a New York City emergency room, so, like, you get what you get. And when they came in, the lady said, "Why are you crying?" Because she was annoyed already. And I was like, well, I'm in quite a bit of pain. And I've been here for 6 hours, and the pain's gotten a little worse. And she was like, okay. And then she didn't touch me. She looked at my chart and said, "You were hit by a car yesterday and you just came in today." And I was like, yeah. And she goes, "You're just sore. Here you go." And then she fished a loose Motrin out of her pocket and handed it to me and then made me leave. But I was still on TRICARE, so I didn't get billed for that.
I just feel like if you're waiting 6 hours to be treated, then it should be free. It should be like at restaurants when they comp your appetizers because they come after the meal comes out.
Guys, we had the worst fried pickle experience, and that is something that we're going to talk about one day, but it can't be today because I'm not ready to face it. So I think we should get into the episode now that we're all fired up about health insurance and the state of healthcare in the United States.
Yeah.
Do you have a
Story?
topical story for us?
No.
Cool. Neither do I. Let's just get into it then.
Yeah.
Guys, we will be right back after this 1 second break.
Okay, Janey.
Okay, Max.
I got a story for you today. It's from Monstrous Tales, stories of strange creatures and fearsome beasts from around the world, illustrated by Xia Hong. We've used this story a bunch of times. You know it. You love it. Here she is, Xia Hong.
Xia Hong really is unparalleled in how gorgeous her illustrations are.
That's
also,
the illustration
guys,
for this book.
The
story.
What's her name? The Chumbawamba.
The Nyanya Balembu?
Nyanya Balembu. Yeah. That came from this book, and I still think about that illustration all the time. It's gorgeous. This one's beautiful. It's a man on a horse riding up. There's like a greyhound, some sort of dog on a big spooky castle, and a flying raven, and there's like wispy smoke all around. Looks spooky.
Yeah, Xia Hong's illustrations are like dreamy and like kind of crystalline, I feel like. Mm-hmm. They're very, very cool. So this story is from that book. It's a story that comes from Scotland. It originally appeared in Elizabeth Grierson's The Scottish Fairy Book. There was a man, and he had 3 sons. They were very, very poor. He was not able to provide for them. So when the eldest of his sons came of age, the eldest son said to his father, "I know that you can't afford to support me. Give me a horse that I can ride, and a hound that I can hunt with, and a hawk that I can fly." Don't worry about it.
I want to fly on a hawk, Daddy.
"And I will go out into the world, and I will make my way." And his father says, "All right, I will give you these things and wish you all the best, my son." Mm-hmm. So his father gives him pets.
Yeah, give me some pets.
And the young man sets off on his own to find his fortune. He rides for just an impossibly long time, countless millennia, all the way until nighttime, like a whole day.
Oh my God.
And at the end of the day, just as night begins to fall, he comes to a wood, a forest that is very dark and very like tightly packed. And he walks around a little bit, but he doesn't see any way in. Mm-hmm. So he just says to himself, well, I'll just ride in on my horse and then I'll find the path when I get in there. Of course.
Yeah. So
he rides into this dense labyrinthine wood with absolutely no plan. And it's about to be dark. And shock of shocks is not able to find the path. He's just stuck in the woods and he doesn't know where he's going.
Uh-oh.
And finally, it becomes so dark, and he has to come to terms with the fact that he is lost. Mm-hmm. So he ties his horse to a tree, and he starts to set up camp. But as it gets darker and darker, he sees a warm glow of light through the trees. And when he looks closer to inspect, he sees that it's like firelight that looks like it's flickering through windows. Mm-hmm. So he unties his horse, and he rides over to where this light is. And he comes to a huge castle that's in the middle of a clearing, imposing. It has these huge, like, black wrought iron gates across the entryway. And in every single window, he sees this flickering fire, right? Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, it would be better to sleep inside than outside. So he goes up to the castle. The door has the gate across it. He knocks on the door and nobody answers. And he knocks again and nobody answers.
Mm-hmm.
He hears absolutely nothing, no sounds inside. And then he takes out his hunting horn and he sounds it at the door as though to say, hello, let me in, please, to your house. Yoo-hoo!
Yodelay-hoo. Hunting horn sounds funny.
That's a funny hunting horn.
The funny hunting horn. That's the name of my bar. My saloon. My tavern, if you will.
Oh,
the funny hunting horn.
The sweet kazoo. And as soon as he sounds his hunting horn, the massive wrought gates in front of the door swing open, though there is no one doing the swinging, and the doors open before him to allow him into the castle.
There's a lot of similarities in our two stories so far.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. Okay, go ahead.
He goes into the castle and he sees a huge, beautiful feast laid out on a table in the middle of the banquet hall. Mm-hmm. And there are fires going in all the fireplaces. Candles are lit. It is warm and bright and it smells amazing. And there's nobody there. Mm-hmm. And he looks upstairs and he looks downstairs. He looks all throughout the entire castle and he cannot find anybody. And he's like, well, I guess if nobody's here, I'll just have myself a little snack. And he sits down at the banquet table and he eats a big, delicious dinner. He stables his horse in the stables outside, and he has the hawk and the hound with him at the table, and he feeds them little bits of food so that they're not hungry as well.
Yeah.
And he eats, and eventually he gets tired. He's been on the road for almost an entire day.
That would make me sleepy.
It would make me sleepy too, but they're like, wow, he was so tired. It had been so long since he had a good meal. I was like, he had lunch at home.
This morning, he was...
Hello?
He was in a house.
But he's like, I'm very tired. I have to go to sleep. And he saw an empty bed upstairs. So he starts making his way up there. And he gets to the top of the stairs just as midnight chimes on one of the big clocks downstairs. And he hears the front door swing open with a loud, screeching creak. Mm. So he walks back down the stairs and he looks and he sees a Draiglin Hogney.
Oh no, not a Draiglin Hogney.
A particularly awful Draiglin Hogneys.
The dragniest of all the Hogneys.
A Draiglin Hogney indeed. And the Hogney, who is Draiglin,
oh my god,
enters into the castle and sees this man here and nods to him as if in greeting, and then goes and sits down by the fire. Mm. And the young man is like, okay, and he sits down by the fire with the Draiglin Hogney.
We're just not going to get an explanation as to what the fuck this thing is?
You know, a Draiglin Hogney.
I don't understand.
Well, you know, like Hogneys, right?
No, I don't.
It's kind of like a Hogney, but Draiglinier.
Guys, you get it, right?
You guys get it. The name of this story is the Draiglin Hogneys, which is why I didn't say it earlier.
Why'd you cover it? I don't know what that means. It would have meant nothing.
I wanted you to have the shock and awe at hearing the phrase Draiglin Hogneys for the first time that I did.
Is it? Okay, here's what I'm imagining. You know when Disney draws big men?
Yeah, I do.
Like dads. Or like big dads. And their hands are just giant blocks.
Uh-huh.
And they're always just like kind of hunched over a little bit, and their heads are just giant blocks. Mm-hmm. And their wives always have like fat asses, but like 2 centimeter waists.
Are you describing Mr. Incredible?
Him and Mrs. Credible. Yeah, I guess I am just describing. You know the Incredibles?
I do know the Incredibles.
I'm imagining Mr. Incredible, I guess, with a big bushy beard and a big furry cape on over his shoulders and big boots. You know the dad from
big
Brave? You know the dad from Brave?
Yes.
That guy.
You are 100% right. On both counts.
Okay. And his wife has a fat ass and the teeniest waist.
The Draiglin Hogney has thick matted hair. He has dark bushy eyebrows with eyes that spark like cinders underneath.
But you know, Disney always draws him as teeny tiny little black circles underneath the bushy eyebrows. And
that's what it is.
Square block nose. Mm-hmm. I love those guys.
And he is carrying a weird looking club. But yeah, basically just the dad from Brave, but
good.
More feral, I guess.
But Draiglier.
Yeah. Look, if you saw this guy, you would be 100% sure that he's Draiglin. You're like, that's a motherfucker who is Draiglin. That dude Draigles so much.
Hey. You can Draigle these nuts.
Janey.
What?
That was so good. So the Draiglin Hogny sits down next to the fire, and the eldest son sits down with him next to the fire.
Mm-hmm.
And the Draiglin Hogny says, "Doth thy horse ever kick?"
Are you doing like a fancy English accent?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, he's fancy English.
And then the eldest son says, "Aye, doth he."
Isn't that a question?
No, he's...
Well, you wouldn't say he doth?
He's like, "Oh, does he?"
Oh,
You know?
oh,
It's-
okay.
Now, you might notice that they're both fancy English.
Are they?
You may also notice that this is a Scottish story.
Hey, Max, I don't...
I told you it was Scottish earlier.
I know, but I feel like you were doing a Scottish accent for him. I think you're really leaning on the fact that you are good at accents, and I have to tell you.
Doth thy horse ever kick?
That's really good.
Aye, doth he?
Okay, pretty good. You gotta do the...
They're British. Also, just doth thy horse ever kick is
Yeah.
really hard to say in any accent that isn't fancy British.
That's true. Doth thy horse have a kick?
Yes.
Eh.
And that's because this is from Elizabeth Grierson, who was publishing this story for an English audience.
Mm-hmm.
So she took the Scots language and she turned it into fancy English.
Yeah.
I have the original Scots version of this.
Elizabeth wanted nobody to have it. We've had her before. I've always said it Elizabeth Grierson. We've told several stories
Maybe.
from her.
Either one, I think, is fine. I'm gonna give you the Scots version of these two lines, just to. I would love for you to read it out loud,
Okay.
just in advance. Scots is a beautiful language.
Oh, no.
Um,
Oh, no. No.
I have the utmost respect for this, like, Scottish people and their language.
But no respect for Janey, who's about to get her shit kicked in by a bunch of angry Scottish people.
No.
James McAfee's gonna knock down our door, crawl across our roof.
The guy who invented the security software is going to come in and beat our asses.
He's gonna crawl across the ceiling and absolutely rip my head off. And he's welcome
I'm not
to.
making, yeah. By having Janey read this, I'm not making fun of the Scots language. I just need to underline how different the Elizabeth Grierson version is from the Scots version.
She's choosing me because I'm so good at accents.
Yes.
My laddie, dis your nag ever kick at all, he says, at last, in a deep rock veek. Aye, dissy, answered the loin, for the only horse his fater could guy him with a randy steering gout. So, I hope that cleared some things up.
Yeah. Scots is different from English.
That looked a lot like, what's the game that you play where they have the cards and they have all of like the phonetic sounding things and you have to read it out?
Oh, God, what is that? Ugh.
That's what it sounds like. That's what
Yeah.
that felt like, having to read it. It feels like if you hear it back, you can guess what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm. What is it? It's like
Because I want to say Mad Libs, but that's not it.
the commercial is they're like, I'm all off my shine or something like that, and
Yeah.
they're like, I'm all off my shine. I'm all off my shine. I'm a love machine.
Yeah.
Mad Gab is what it's called.
Mad Gabs! Oh, you did
Yeah.
it. You really
I
worked
did
backwards there.
I did.
That
I was
pretty fun.
playing the commercial in my head.
Wow.
In a
This
normal
episode
way.
sponsored by Mad Gabs. That was our ad.
That's our Mad Gab ad.
Mad Gab ad.
Mad Gab ad.
I'm mad at your dad.
I'm your dad.
I'm your dad.
So, just to be clear, this version of the text is Englishified.
Mm-hmm.
That's the formal term.
Mm.
But the Draiglin Hogny asks the young man, "Doth thy horse ever kick?" And the young man says, "Aye, doth he." Am I right? And the Draiglin Hogny says, "I have some skill in taming horses, and I will give thee something to tame thine withal. Throw this over him." And then he takes one long, coarse, wiry hair from his own head and hands it to the young man. And the young man is like, "Oh, thank you so much for this." And he goes outside to the stables and he throws this single hair over his horse. And then he comes back inside and he sits back down next to the Draiglin Hogny.
Can I just really quick interject? Because this is so weird. So the guy is in the Draiglin Hogneys' house.
Yes.
They don't they haven't discussed the fact that he's just in his house. He comes down and he's like, oh, hey. And then they just start talking. This makes me think that maybe this isn't the Draiglin Hogneys' house, that he also walked in, and that the guy was like, oh, this must be his house. So he's being friendly and was like, oh, thanks for the gift. I love to think that the Draiglin Hogneys also breaking in. They both just think they're talking to the owner.
Yeah, that's good. That's good for me.
There's no proof that this is his house.
No, none whatsoever. So the eldest son takes the hair out to his horse, throws it over the horse, and then he comes back inside, sits back down next to the Draiglin Hogney.
Sure.
And the Draiglin Hogney says, "Doth thy hound ever bite any?"
Not his good boy.
Not his good boy. Not a good boy.
Oh, no!
The son says, "Aye, verily."
Good. He's spirited. He knows who he likes, and he likes
who he knows.
Few.
And the Draiglin Hogney is like, well, give him one of these hairs and he'll be better. And he takes out another long hair from his own head and hands it to the young man, and the young man drapes it over his dog.
This guy has already eaten his food. Why would he then give him a bunch of gifts? Because it's not his food. He thinks he's being hospitable. If this story doesn't end with the real owner of the house coming in and being like, what the fuck? Get out of my house.
Who put all these hairs everywhere?
Why is my house so hairy?
And then the Draiglin Hogney asks, "Doth thy hawk ever peck any?"
Oh, yeah.
And the young man says, "Doth she? I have to keep a bandage over her eyes, save when she is ready to fly, else were nothing safe within her reach."
Just a Band-Aid. So sticky. No. She doesn't like it.
No, like he has to like wrap a cloth around her head so that she doesn't peck everything that she sees.
Oh, blind justice pecking away.
And the Draiglin Hogney is like, well, I have got something for this too, and you won't believe what it is. Boink! And pulls out another head hair from his head. Another head hair. And the young man is like, oh, thank you so much. And he puts it on the hawk. And he turns back around and he's like, well, thank you so much for your help with my animals. And the Draiglin Hogney smacks him over the head with the club and kills him.
No. What? Huh?
Never trust a lad who's been Draiglin.
He may have Draigled too close to the sun. The sun being this young man.
The son. I got you.
Wow, that is shocking.
Yeah. Murders him.
Just straight up murders.
Cold blood. And the dog doesn't bark, and the hawk doesn't screech, and the horse doesn't burst through the doors nobly, because they're all frozen, stiff, and unmoving in their various places by the Hogney hair that has been laid across them. So,
yeah,
the Hogney takes the young man and puts him in the basement, and he takes the horse and the hawk and the hound and puts them in the basement. The end.
That's the end?
No.
Oh my god. I'm like, well, fuck. I love a good basement story.
Classic. Some time passes, and the second eldest son...
Guys, did you also think that was the end? Did she fool you? Because she fucking got me. It's like, well, damn.
Shit.
Okay.
He Draigled.
A quick 15-minute tale of murder. And we out.
And we out. Oh, what a Draigler.
Every day I'm Draiglin.
The second son comes of age, and the third son has not yet returned. And he goes to his father, and he's like, well, obviously my eldest brother has become so successful that he hasn't returned. So now it's time for me to go out and find my fortune. Will you give me a hawk, a hound, and a horse? And his father is like, yes, but you have to promise that if you're vastly successful, you'll come back. And the second son is like, of course I will. And he takes his hawk and his hound and his horse and rides off. And exactly the same thing happens. He gets to the woods. He finds the Draiglin Hogney's house. Draiglin Hogney comes in, freezes all of his animals, murders him, drags them all to the basement.
Yeah, you know when you disappear because good things happen to you? This is a reason why... No, that's too dark. Never mind.
Oh, no. The third son. Sorry, I'm just going to skip over it's that thing in fairy tales where it's like the first thing happens and then the first thing happens again to the second guy and then the third guy is different.
That you can read, but we're not going to tell. Because why? It's like when people give instructions and then you have to read them doing the instructions exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, no,
It's also in this story, it's like, and then the same thing happened. He got on the horse, and then he rode out, and then he got to the forest, and then he went into the forest, and then he got lost, and then he sat down, and he was gonna make camp, but then he saw some light. It's literally exactly the same. The third son goes to his father and says, "Father, I don't think that my brothers have found their fortune and success out in the world.
I think they might just be missing."
And he says, "Father, if you will give me a horse and a hound and a hawk, I will go out and I will look for them and I will bring them home to you." And his father is like, I can't lose you. And this is all that I can afford is these animals. So please come back and find your brothers. And,
Sure.
So the youngest brother sets off with his horse, hawk, and hound. He gets to the woods.
Horse hawk sounds delicious. It's like a ham hock.
A flank steak, if you will.
Yeah. I will.
Oh. Oh no. So he gets to the forest and he's like, this looks pretty sketchy. And then he goes into the forest, as you do.
Sure.
He gets to the castle and he's like, seems pretty weird that there's nobody in here. So he goes into the castle and he eats the dinner and he goes up to go to bed at midnight. And then the Draiglin Hogney comes in. And the Draiglin Hogney is like, so does does
your boyfriend know you're here?
The Draiglin Hogney says, "Doth thy horse ever kick?" And he says, "Doth he?" And the Draiglin Hogney is like, "Well, give him one of my freaking hairs."
Put a freaking hair on him, why don't you?
And the Draiglin Hogneys gives the young man one of his hairs, and the young man's like, "Oh, thank you so much." And he goes out to the stable, and he pretends to put the hair on the horse, and then he sneaks it back into the house, and he's like, "Wow, thank you so much. That was so great." And then the Draiglin Hogneys is like, yes, of course. And then he turns away, and the third son throws the hair in the fire, and it like spits and crackles, and the Draiglin Hogneys is like, what was that? And the young man says, "Oh, 'tis but the sap of the greenwood." So he's like, one of these logs wasn't dry enough. Don't worry about it. I know about logs.
Everyone knows about logs, you fucking idiot.
If there's one guy who knows about logs, it's not the Draiglin Hogney. So,
okay,
write that down.
Take note.
The Draiglin Hogney asks after the young man's hound, and he's like, "Give him this hair. It'll make him calm down." And the young man, again, pretends to put it on the hound, throws it in the fire, and the Draiglin Hogney is like, "Greenwood, am I right?" And he's like, "That's what that was."
Meanwhile, was the dog sleeping? Or what the fuck?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. The dog's doing his best red light, green light impression. He's on red light currently. One paw in the air.
Oh, good dog.
Good boy.
And then the Draiglin Hogney is like, "How about your hawk? Does she bite you?" And the young man is like, "She sure does." And he's like, "Well, give her one of my hairs then, goddammit." And the young man pretends to put it on the hawk and throws it into the fire. And the Draiglin Hogney's like, "Great. Now that that's taken care of." And he turns around to go pick up his club and brain this young man. But this young man, he's too smart. He's been on his guard since he came in.
Quite smart.
None of his animals are frozen. So the Draiglin Hogney goes to whack the third son, and the third son sees him coming, and he whistles. You know how you whistle.
You know how to whistle, don't you?
And his horse gallops in from the stables and busts down the door majestically. His hound springs up from where he was sleeping, warm and cozy and curled up next to the fire, and his hawk jumps off of the young man's shoulder and takes flight, shrieking in the air. And all three descend upon the Draiglin Hogney. Quote, "And they all fell on the Draiglin Hogney at once, and he found out only too well how the horse kicked, and the hound bit, and the hawk pecked."
Yeah, he did.
And they all killed him.
Okay.
To death. Once the Draiglin Hogney lies dead.
You know, that hawk was probably still blindfolded. Like, to think that she flew out and was like, yeah, I just started smacking into everyone.
Probably.
Hawk did not help at all. Hawk was busy doing her best fly inside of a car impression.
So the third son takes the club from the deceased Draiglin Hogney, and he decides to explore the castle.
Yeah, I'd want to take a look around.
Yeah.
He sees a bunch of portraits of just some white family. Wait a minute.
Hang on a second here.
These people are... I'm sorry.
Whose house is this?
Weedy motherfuckers. That guy doesn't live here. You have a big red beard. These are just
some guys.
Little blonde people.
So the third son takes the club and explores the castle. As he expected, the story tells us, he finds that there are dungeons underneath of it.
Oh no.
And they're dark and dingy dungeons. Mm-hmm. He goes through the dungeons and he finds the bodies of his 3 brothers.
2 brothers.
His 2 brothers. And he touches them with the club and they come back to life.
Oh, good thing he knew how to... What, you think he was just hitting them again? He was a shitty little brother.
Maybe. I also, this is a trope that we've seen a couple of times in the stories, and I'm no longer willing to be silent about the idea of like, the only thing that can bring someone back from the dead is the weapon that killed them.
Yeah.
Which is so fucking funny to me, because every single time I imagine, this is dark, I imagine someone being murdered with a gun. And then someone coming and like bringing them back to life by being like, hey, it's okay. And then just tapping them on the head with a gun and be like, oh my god, I'm alive again.
Wait, can I tell you something that's been making me laugh recently? And I did send you an Instagram post on this, but I'm on... I don't know how this happened, because I don't read fan fiction really, and I should. I do think I should. I think I'd like it, but I don't. And my sister's obsessed with Draco Hermione fan fiction. Like, she's gotten really into like Manacled and a bunch of the other Hermione fan fiction. Like, she's really into it. And every time it pops up, like a thing pops up on my algorithm, I'll send it to her and be like, she'll like this. And now my algorithm thinks I'm super into Hermione fan fiction. But now it's gone to a thing where artists have been drawing Draco. Like, it's like they want to write something so bad, but they don't want to leave the Harry Potter characters. And so now it's like nothing to do with Harry Potter. And I sent you one and it made me laugh so hard. Like, I had just woken up and I was cackling. And it was a cartoon, like a just a cartoon of a woman, and she's wearing like a backless gown, and she has like a snake tattoo along her back, and her hair is up, so obviously like somebody super fancy, you know, like a ball or something. And she's in the sights of a gun, and then from the text, you know, like somebody talking to the side, it says, Voldemort, what are you doing, Draco? Shoot her! The next panel is Draco Malfoy holding like a sniper rifle and looking at this beautiful woman. He's like, but Draco couldn't shoot her. And I'm like, oh, so there's no wands? Just guns? You have to eventually lose the Harry Potter characters if you're going to go so off book that now they don't do magic, they just shoot each other.
A gun is just a wand for bullets.
You know what?
Spell of shoot you.
A gun is just a wand for bullets. I was laughing so hard. I was like, oh, we have lost the thread.
Yeah. So he bonks his brothers back to life.
Oh yeah, he bonks them back to life. We've all been there.
Listen, we've all been there. And then they all keep exploring the dungeon, and they find a separate little dungeon area that has all of their horses and hounds and hawks in it, and he bonks all of them, and they all come back to life.
Classic. And
then they take over the castle, and one of them goes back and gets their dad, and they all live in this castle, and they're very, very rich. Also, they find a bunch of treasure in the basement.
Yeah.
And they live happily ever after. The end.
Nice. This reminds me a lot of the story you told about the 2 brothers. Or did I tell that story?
You told a story about the ogress in the cave.
Well, I was thinking the ogress in the cave quite a bit, because that's 3 brothers and the youngest brother has to go find them. But I'm thinking of, very, very specifically, you told one where one brother gets married to this beautiful queen, and then he leaves and goes hunting in the woods, and he comes across this castle, and this old woman, like, hits him with a stick, and he turns to stone.
Yes.
And then the other brother comes in and is identical to him, and so he, like, fucks his brother's wife a bunch, and then goes looking for his brother, and then finds him and has to... And
the Castle of the Unknown or something like that, or, like, the Castle of the Older.
It's very similar. It's, like, turned to stone, specifically, by, like, a stick, and then he has to use that stick to, like, bonk his brother back to life.
Bonk, bonk, bonk.
You know, bonk, bonk, bonk.
So, yeah. Do you have any questions about the story? Any comments?
The trope of of the son being like, hey, our family's very poor. I'm just going to go off and I'm going to have an adventure and try to do better for the family. Or, like, for myself, just not a burden. Kind of reminds me of Janosch and Rožka. Those tales, I think they're Romanian. kind of reminds me that I told one of the stories, but it was just Janos, I think. Roshko was doing something else.
Roshko was unavailable for comment at that time.
Yeah, Roshko. I don't know what Roshko was up to. Okay, wasn't his story. But yeah, like that is a trope that has come up a couple times too, which I like. But I would assume that this would probably fall under like the ogress tail type.
Probably.
The ogre tail type, you know?
Yeah, I didn't look it up, but probably.
Yeah, right?
Well, since you don't even care and you're not even curious, some people might think the words Draiglin Hogneys are pretty weird.
I was
You
trying
got
to
an
remember.
opportunity to have one question.
I was trying to remember how to say that, and I was like, the dangle hard drive. I could not for the life of me remember what that word was.
Draiglin.
Yes.
The closest we have come to a definition for the word Draiglin from my research is unkempt or uncouth in Scots.
Okay, dirty.
Yeah, which I think, although I found no evidence to this, that it probably comes from the same root as bedraggled.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense.
Which bedraggled has Norse, English, and Germanic roots, so it would make sense that...
Like dragging through the mud. Been draggling in the bog?
Classic bog draggler.
You dirty bog draggler.
A Hogney has no definition. Nobody knows.
Hogney.
This is a very famous Scottish story, and literally nobody has found any resources on what the fuck a Hogney is.
Draiglin Hogneys.
But the way that they talk about it, they're like, this is a Hogney. It's not his name. He is one of a class of Hogneys.
Yeah, he's a Hogley. He's a Hogney.
A Hogney, but specifically a Draiglin one.
Yeah, he's not one of the handsome Hogneys.
Yeah.
The handsome Hogneys from upstate.
Handsome Hogneys from upstate. Yeah, and I think it's really funny that it just... I did like a decent amount of research, probably like half an hour of research, could not find a goddamn definition for it. I sent you a Tumblr post on Instagram earlier today. Hopefully you haven't seen it yet. Maybe you have.
I don't think I have.
I'm just going to read this, I guess.
Okay.
From Dave Sayers, never have to ask a linguist, is that a word? Because you will always get the same response. It is now. Delivered with some variation of jazz hands like you just won a very low stakes game show. And I'm so sorry. It's just part of the training. It's not something we can control, which is true. I did some linguistics in college and I am so annoying about it. This was posted on Tumblr and someone with a name that I absolutely cannot and should not pronounce. It says, my favorite response to that's not a word is, then why do you know what it means? And then Esh Smites says, every time someone within 30 miles of me says, that's a made-up word, I am uncontrollably compelled to respond, all words are made up. All words are made up. Felix Cloud 6280. I don't know why I'm including the usernames. It feels wrong not to.
Giving them credit for their clever words.
Felix Cloud 6288 says, in a college language class I took, we talked about the Jabberwocky poem and the professor had us try to explain every word in it. When we got to outgrabe, she asked why it was past tense, and my response was, because the present tense is outgribe. Her response was, that doesn't answer the question, but it brings up a better one. Why do you know that? And that's what a Draiglin Hogney is to me, is it outgribes and it has outgrabed.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Probably just sounded sinister and gross.
Yeah, but also, just from hearing the words Draiglin Hogneys, you knew exactly what to picture. You were 100% right.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not... Yeah, you're right. You're totally right. I don't think that that's the Draiglin Hogneys house.
I also don't think that... It doesn't matter whether it's the Draiglin Hogneys house. It's probably not his house. Yeah. He just hangs out there and picks off dummies.
A linguist everyone should be following on TikTok. And Instagram, I'm almost positive, but I only know him on TikTok, is Abraham Piper. So go look up Abraham Piper. He is the best, and he is a linguist, and he does a lot of videos of, like, explaining the origin of words, or explaining how they're used, or how their context has changed, or all that stuff, or how words are used to actively put down marginalized people, or to lift up marginalized people. Like, he does a really fun job. He's also, like, a puzzle maker. That's what he does. He makes puzzles.
I don't know about him.
I definitely showed you a couple from him, but you should follow him too. You would really like him. But
do you think
he does a lot of like long walks and he's sweet as fuck. But he does a lot of like, that's not a word. Well, it's interesting that you're talking about that because go to hell. What? He did a whole video in defense of the way that specifically like teenage girls are made fun of for talking. And he was like, hey, did you know that like and are actually this, whatever? And he went into this long thing and he's like, and also maybe stop being a dick.
Yeah. Above all else.
Yeah, it was really good. You should look him up, but that's what that reminds me of.
Yeah, 100%.
Really interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
It was good.
Sociolinguistics is fascinating.
It is. And now Max is taunting you on a schoolyard.
And you can go get fucked.
You've been hogneyed. Out.
Get Draigled, motherfucker.
Get Draigled. Okay, well, I'm going to go get Draigled for the next, 10 seconds or so. You want to get Draigled with me?
Yeah, let's go Draigle.
Okay, we'll be back in a couple of seconds. Goodbye. Okay, Max.
Okay, Janey.
Max, okay. Today I have a story called The White Cat. It's not the same story called The White Cat that I told previously. It's a different white cat.
I would be reacting more strongly to this, but I finished my sources after you. So I saw the title and I was like, this motherfucker.
Fucking cheated. This is a story that I
you
found.
were bleeding. You're bleeding your cards.
Bleeding?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, when you're like holding a hand of cards and you like make it accidentally visible to other people, it's called bleeding.
No, you were peeping. So you were peeping my cards.
Well,
You should feel ashamed.
sorry for peeping the bleed.
You guys ever peep the bleed? You shouldn't. It's gross.
Listen, you gotta either peep the bleed or Draigle the Hogney.
You gotta Draigle the Hogney.
You cannot Draigle the bleed, and you cannot peep the Hogney.
Oh, don't peep the Hogney. You will not like it. I got this story from Folk and Fairy Tales. Edited by Martin Hallett and Barbara Karasek.
That's my mom's name.
This is your mom's name.
So true.
Folk and Fairy Tales is basically a folktale textbook. It has a lot of the sections are just like variations. So like one section's on like the variations of Red Riding Hood or the variations of the Snow Queen and stuff like that. And so it's very useful as a text. And I'm almost positive they use this in colleges and it's fantastic. I love it. And it also has little sources and like explanations and stuff like that. Fantastic. When I got this, it was like probably like $9 on thrift books. Now it is close to like, it's between $29 and $45 everywhere and every place that I looked because I wanted to include it in the sources, which I did. But just so you know, it's pretty expensive to get it now. I do think this is an excellent source and I like it a lot. But you might want to put an alert for the book being listed somewhere cheaper.
If you think it might be used as a textbook, hot tip. Wait until the beginning of June and then look for it again because people will list them for sale for super cheap.
Yeah, might be worth it.
Yeah, June is one of the best times to buy secondhand
Textbooks.
literary texts and stuff. If you ever want a collection, like if you ever want to buy like a Shakespeare book or if you want a copy of the Odyssey or something like that, literally like 50 cents on like June 5th.
Love it. I just noticed the cover of this book, the version I have, because it's not the cover on all of them. I have the 4th edition. It's an illustration for Little Red Riding Hood, and she's walking through the snow and there's like trees, like a forest and a house. But I just noticed after having this book for like 2 years that the house has wolf ears.
Aw.
Probably not.
Puppy house.
Probably not. Aw.
Puppy house.
This is the tale of Little Red Riding
That's a
Hood.
puppy house.
That's like a Pennywise house. Pennywise disguised as a house.
More like a puppy wise house.
Oh my god. Speaking of, guys, again, I don't have ADHD. I'm just like this. I have been watching a lot of Magic School Bus lately because we're at the end of the year and I'm giving breaks to the classes and I'm not teaching. I'm just going in for like 20 minutes at a time to let the teachers like take a little break. And
Are you, to be clear, you're watching it with the students?
I'm playing it for the students. So
Okay.
like we go in and since we have 20
You're not
minutes.
just watching it on your own
No.
because you're bored?
No. I go in and I turn on the thing during the break and they get to watch basically all of it because the teacher usually lets them finish. No, I've been watching a lot of Magic School Bus and I was like, something is up. Like now that I'm watching it as an adult after watching like It and all of the It's, including the old ones, I'm like, this is just,
The
there's
movies?
something. Yeah, I was like, there's something up with Miss Frizzle. Like, there's something that feels sinister about Miss Frizzle, and I know everyone's like, nuh-uh, Janey, but I think there is. And then I was on TikTok, and somebody was posting things about the doppelganger theory of the Magic School Bus, which is about how, I can't explain the doppelganger theory necessarily at this moment, because I didn't go too far into the theory, but they were talking about how all of the, like, episodes, something crazy happens and all the kids are terrified that somebody will find out their secret or that they'll somehow blow the secret of Miss Frizzle. And they're like, it makes sense that Miss Frizzle's keeping a secret from the principal. It also makes sense that like the kids don't want her, like the principal, to find out and ruin their fun. But they react so violently whenever somebody is about to reveal Miss Frizzle's secret. And there are times when like Miss Frizzle fucking turns into the bus and shit, or she like puts them in pinball machines and she's like controlling them in pinball machines. And the first episode of the Magic School Bus, they go to space and fucking, what's his name? Not Arthur. The
Arnold.
redhead. Arnold? Okay.
I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the best I can do.
The little redhead with the glasses and the yellow striped shirt. In that first episode, his cousin, who looks just like him, comes to town and she goes to space with them and she starts collecting all this like evidence to bring back with them. And she's like, nobody will believe me and I'm going to tell everyone about this. And he's so upset by that he follows her out of the bus and he's like, if you want evidence, then fine. Here's evidence of what will happen if you stay. And he takes off his helmet and freezes in space and like dies. He fucking kills himself to keep her from revealing the secret.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's the first episode. And like the more that you go into it, the more I'm like, oh my God, Miss Frizzle is just a Pennywise creature. I think Miss Frizzle, Mary Poppins, and Pennywise are all from the same planet.
Shit.
Yeah, anyway, it goes deep. That's not my story. So my story is called The White Cat.
I just have to know literally
everything about the
everything
doppelganger
about
theory.
that. Yeah. You ever like
you know what? I'm going to do an off-topic about it. Guys, get ready
God.
for an off-topic about the doppelganger theory for the Magic School Bus.
I don't want you to because I want to know about it immediately.
No, I'm going to do an off-topic.
Do you ever hear a phrase for the first time and you're like, oh my God, what a treat. Like you don't have to know you're just like, oh, that's going to be so good to learn about.
We're going to learn about the doppelganger theory. Oh, that's fun. Okay.
All right.
So this is The White Cat by Madame la Comtesse d'Aulnoy. And I'm going to go into her story at the end. The story opens up with this quote. Once upon a time, there was a king who had 3 sons, who were all so clever and brave that he began to be afraid that they would want to reign over the kingdom before he was dead. So right off the bat, we have 3 sons, which is like your story. We have a king who's afraid that he's going to lose his power, which is like every Shakespeare story. Mm-hmm. The king was getting older, yes, but he thought he was doing a pretty good job. And also, why put an age limit on positions of power? What, just because he can't represent the interests and well-being of the majority of his constituents? Because he was born in horse time and he hits reply all on every email, just saying thanks received for everything? Just because of that? Doesn't mean he can't be in his job.
It does mean that.
It absolutely means that. So he came up with a plan to hold his sons off. I'm getting all worked up this episode.
Oh my goodness.
So he came up with a plan to hold his sons off, even though they had not at all hinted that they wanted to take his power from him. Mm-hmm. He does this unprompted.
Sure.
He sent for them all, and he told them that he was getting older. So, of course, he agreed with everyone, no one said this, that it was time he retired. Nobody wanted this. This is all in his mind. But how could he decide fairly between his sons? Yes. It was customary for the oldest one to take over the throne, when his dad retired or died. But you know what? That's not fair. They should all get a shot because they're all his precious boys and he loves them all equally and he wants the best for them. So he says this, quote, now, as I think of retiring into the country, it seems to me that a pretty, lively, faithful little dog would be very good company for me. Just out of left field. They're like, Dad, what? Puppy. You shouldn't be in a position of power. You are now talking about having a dog.
Puppy.
So without any regards for your ages, I promise that the one who brings me the most beautiful little dog shall succeed me at once, end quote. This is his grand plan. The king gave them presents of silver and precious stones and told them to come back in 1 year's time to present their dogs for him to judge. He's like, the littlest and the prettiest will win.
Oh, the first ever puppy bowl.
The first ever. This is the origin story of the puppy bowl. The brothers, who loved and respected each other a lot, they were like all best friends. They went to a castle about a league from the city with all of their friends. I think that's just their party castle. And they promised to be friends forever and to not let jealousy come between them. They're like, listen, let's make this a fair competition. I love you. I love you. So I'll see you in a year. And they all kind of like nod and kiss again, and then they leave.
Sure.
They split up. They each take a different road out of the city. Quote, the 2 eldest met with many adventures, but it is about the youngest that you are going to hear. He was young and gay and handsome, and knew everything that a prince ought to know, and as for his courage, there was simply no end to it. But you know what, Max? We're not going to have to hear much about this young, gay, handsome prince's courage, because it's not part of the story.
Oh, word?
Much like his brothers are not part of the story, all right?
Who is a part of the story?
A little dog.
Oh, I was off board, now I'm back on board.
Oh, we're back. For weeks, he went around looking...
Wait a minute.
What? What? Wait, you have questions? You have thoughts?
Where's the cat?
A little dog. Every time I tell a story about a little cat, it starts with a little dog. I don't know why.
Why, though?
Or like a little cow.
Aw.
Remember the black cat had
Don't have a little cow.
Don't have a little cow, okay? For weeks, this youngest prince went around looking for cute dogs. And every dog he saw, he'd buy, convinced this was the cutest, best boy in the whole wide world. Yes, it was. Yes, it was the cutest little dog in the whole wide world. But the problem is that there's no such thing as the cutest dog in the whole wide world, because all dogs are the cutest dogs in the whole wide world, even the ugly ones, which are sometimes the cutest ones.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking that when you said the cutest dog in the whole wide world, I was like,
the cutest ones are the ugly ones.
What does that even mean?
Because they're all cute.
I love the little Pekingese.
Summer is part Pekingese.
Yeah,
the best thing
they've
about
got the squishiest faces and the biggest ears.
the flattest noses, and they want none of your shit because they were born to be literally carried around everywhere.
No, and when they bark, it sounds like a sneeze.
So good.
Awful, and I love them so much. I am picturing this prince.
Yeah.
You know that picture of Daniel Radcliffe walking a bunch of dogs
Yes.
all at once, and they're all like
That's exactly.
on leashes, like on like a belt that he's
Yes.
wearing, and he's smoking a cigarette. That's what I'm picturing.
Yes. Yes, Max.
Good.
Keep that image in mind.
Good.
So he was constantly buying dogs, finding a cuter one, trying to give that other dog away to somebody who would love it, buying the next dog, finding a cuter one, giving that one away. It was like an endless nightmare. Quote, as soon as he bought a pretty one, he was sure to see a still prettier, and then he had to get rid of all the others and buy that one, as being alone, he found it impossible to take care of 30 or 40,000 dogs at a time. This man single-handedly inventing, like, dog rescues.
Is he? He's single-handedly inventing rehoming, but that's not necessarily a good thing.
He has just a bunch of dogs that he's like, we need to give these dogs
We
a
gotta
home.
get more dogs.
And one day, he found himself wandering around at night, eyes crazy, covered in dog fur, muttering, who's a good dog, who's a good dog, to himself while stroking a rolled-up cloak because this job was stressful and he's having a bad time. But at least things couldn't get any worse, right? Wrong, Max, wrong.
Oh, he falls in love with a dog and he has to take him home.
It started to thunderstorm.
Oh.
So bad that he realized he had to find shelter. Shelter? Oh my God. And then he went into a dog frenzy again. He took the first path he found, and he walked for a long time until he finally saw a faint light, and hoping it was a cottage in the woods that he could, like, go to, or even, like, maybe a shack, okay, anything. He stumbled towards it. But when he finally did reach the light, it wasn't a shack.
It was a Draiglin Hogney.
It was a Draiglin Hogney. He said, is that dog Bite? And he was like, what dog? And he looked down, and he, like, dropped his cloak. Okay.
Is there a dog in the cloak?
Nope. No, he has no dog at this point.
No dog.
Yeah.
Oh, started at the
top, and now we're
here.
He finally did reach the light, but it wasn't a shack. It was a huge, beautiful castle. The door was made of gold and covered with carbuncles, which sounds like some sort of barnacle, right? But it's not a barnacle. Not part of a car. It's actually a red gem.
Oh.
A carbuncle sounds like a car barnacle.
I've heard that word before, but I never knew what it meant.
Yeah, they're red.
Is it like a cabochon?
Yep. So these gems were what caught the light and showed him the way through the forest. He was following, like, sparkling red gems. The walls of the castle were made of fine porcelain, and as he was looking at them, he realized that printed on that porcelain was, like, illustrations of all these beautiful, like, fairy tales, like, stories that he had read when he was, like, a kid and stuff like that. And he's like, wow, this is everything. This is so many of the things. But it was pouring down rain, and he's like, I gotta get out of here. I can't keep looking at these things.
Enough of these things.
So he went back to the golden door, and he saw a deer's foot hanging by a chain of diamonds, and he began to wonder who the hell lived here. He's like, this is fancy. And he also was like, they don't seem to be too worried about thieves, because what's to stop somebody from coming up and, like, you know, taking, like, a crowbar to all these gems and stuff like that, and stealing this deer's foot and going off to be richer than God. Like, they're not scared at all.
There are some versions of the Beauty and the Beast story that are almost exactly like this, where, what's his name? The dad.
Maurice.
is lost in the woods. His wagon breaks down and he finds this castle and it's like covered in gems. And he's like, wow, a bad person would take all of these gems. And he's like, but not me. And he knocks on the door and nobody answers. And he's like, well, I guess I can't come in. And he starts to walk away. And then he sees that there are these beautiful white roses. And he takes one from a rose bush. And that's why he gets caught by the beast.
So he knocks on the door and nobody answered. I'm kidding. He pulled the deer's foot and the door flew open. So it's different. The door does open for him. But the prince didn't see any servants. Instead, he saw dozens of disembodied hands floating in the air towards him.
Oh, no.
Each one was holding a torch. Except for that one that was holding a human head.
This story is Draigless.
He stared for a while in horror until he started to feel hands pushing him into the castle.
More hands?
Yeah, they had somehow got behind him and they're just like pushing him
surrounded.
He put his hand on his sword and moved as cautiously as he could while still being shoved at the small of his back by insistent little hands.
Oh, it was just a bunch of hands being like, oh, sorry, excuse me, and like touching his lower back. And it's like, did you have to?
Listen, these hands are fucking sexist. The halls were paved with lapis lazuli. And he heard two lovely voices sing this song. The hands you see floating above will swiftly your bidding obey. If your heart dreads not conquering love, in this place you may fearlessly stay. What tune would that be to? The hands you see floating above will swiftly your bidding obey. If your heart dreads not conquering love, in this place you may fearlessly stay.
Gotta be sillier.
You're trying to think of the tune to my humps.
Baby, I'm always thinking of the tune to my humps.
I can't think of what you gonna do. The hand you say floating up. No, can't do it. It doesn't fit the rhyme.
Let me see.
No.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
Trying to take my notes. You can't have
I need to read them.
I don't know what to tell you, man. My whole ass notes are here.
You know that song that the dwarves sing in The Hobbit?
No. I'm cool.
Well, I would be able to demonstrate it if you would give me your notes.
Everyone just immediately unsubscribed. This is not the audience to, like, lord over. I don't know how to give you...
Like you got some kind of rings or something?
Pretty good. Here.
No, actually, it's the mermaid song from Harry Potter.
It is, but I don't remember the tune for that either.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I'm cool.
Fuck, Janey's so cool, guys. I gotta leave. I'm suddenly feeling very embarrassed to be here.
I only consume Harry Potter properties where they don't have wands, they have guns. Only Harry Potter I like.
Harry Potter and the Italian mob.
Harry Potter and hey, well, what's your problem? What's your problem? You got a problem with me?
Harry Potter and the Gabagool.
Harry Potter and the Gabagool. Oh, the Gabagool would be such a cute Italian ghoul story. The Gabagool sounds like it would be in the same... Max got me a bunch of children's books for my classes, not just for fun. She got me a bunch of like cryptid-based children's books. So one was Hush Now Banshee, which my little ones did. Like we use that story as a jumping off point for a whole cryptid week. And also I Believe in You, which is a Loch Ness Monster story. And the Gabagool sounds like it's part of it. This was such a lovely song that the prince didn't really feel scared anymore. What murderer could rhyme so well? Probably none. So he's fine now. He went through a door made of coral, and he found himself in a great hall of mother of pearl, filled with doors.
Is he a geologist? What the fuck is going on?
He's just like, wow.
Is that Chrysicola over there?
Oh my goodness. What am I, in a cave?
I'm sorry. Can I just ask really quick, is that garnierite? Am I right? Or is that seraphonite?
Or am I you're wrong?
Oh!
He went through this door made of coral. He found himself in a great hall of mother of pearl, which was filled with doors leading to other beautiful rooms and thousands like glittering lights everywhere. And there were beautiful pictures and precious treasures that overwhelmed the prince, who was still coming down from his dog search. And he was like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm in such a beautiful doghouse. Castle. This is a castle, and I know that.
The only thing that can make this castle better? Mm-hmm. One beautiful dog.
One beautiful dog. The hands began to strip off his wet, muddy clothes.
What?
What a weird sensation this must be. And then they presented him with much better clothes, embroidered with gold and emeralds. Quote, he could not help admiring everything he saw, and the deft way in which the hands waited on him, that they sometimes appeared so suddenly that they made him jump.
I know that we've made a lot of jokes about our, not jokes really, we've made a lot of requests of our listeners to write about things on Wattpad. This feels the most fertile ground for Wattpad content of all the stories that we've told.
There's a bunch of disembodied hands?
Yeah.
Okay, you little freak.
I'm not little.
I have... All right, I'm so sorry, you giant freak. I have another request for Wattpad later on in this story. So we have a couple requests. And so far, nobody's done them. Anyway, you call yourselves listeners? You're not really listening, are you?
Listen to me when I say, write it.
Write our
or
stupid
else.
Stories. Okay. So when he was looking fresh and dry, the hands led him to a beautiful room where the walls were painted with the history of Puss in Boots and a number of other famous cats. And he was like, wow, these people really like cats. And then he saw the table was laid for two, and he was like, oh, I wonder who the second person is. When suddenly, about a dozen cats carrying guitars and rolls of music burst in, under the direction of a cat who beat time with a roll of paper. Max looks very excited.
A little cat band?
The cats all took
mariachi cats.
The cats all took a big breath and then began to meow in every key imaginable while scraping their claws across the guitar strings.
A cat choir.
It was terrible.
The cats are not good at playing guitar. Boing, boing, bing.
I say meow. It very specifically is like, that was almost word for word. They all just start yowling.
Cacophony, if you will.
It's a cat-cophony. And they're all yowling in different keys.
That's really good.
And also scraping claws across guitar strings, because cats can't play the guitar.
Cats cannot play the guitar. If there's one thing I know, it's that a Hogney's gonna Draigle, and that a cat is not gonna play the guitar.
Hogney's gonna Draigle, and cats are not gonna play the guitar.
Sorry, I've developed further my Wattpad concept based
add
on
to it.
Yeah. The cats are all there. But all of these hands, you were like, and then the door opens and you see, and I was like, the handmaiden. And she's just a witch who controls all the hands.
She's a big hand wearing a dress. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Anyway.
Like the thumbs from Spy Kids.
I was just thinking about the thumbs from
But
Spy Kids.
sexier.
Well, yeah, because they're wearing dresses.
Yeah.
So these are ladies. And the thumbs are all indisputably male.
Mm-hmm. So true.
So the prince is plugging his ears. This is in the story. And he's also laughing. It's like, this is so stupid. What is this?
Wow.
He's in like the most beautiful palace anyone has ever seen, and he was just in awe, and now he's just being like accosted by a bunch of what sounds like feral cats who are trying to play the guitar. He's having a time. And as he's thinking, like, what else could possibly happen?
He thinks to himself, this concerto is a catastrophe.
Catastrophe. And as he's thinking, what could possibly happen? The doors burst open, and a tiny figure covered in a long black veil kind of like comes into the room.
The handmaiden. She's so small.
She's much smaller than you think.
She's the size of a hand.
She looks taller on screen. The figure was followed by two cats wearing black mantles and carrying swords, and a large party of cats carrying cages full of mice and rats.
To eat?
To eat. The little figure stepped forward and pulled back the veil, and he saw the prettiest little white cat you could possibly imagine.
Aw, the cat maiden.
And the story said that she looked very young and very sad.
Oh, no.
And in a very sweet voice, she welcomed him in, and she was like, hi, I'm the queen of cats.
Oh, no.
And she's like, you're welcome to be here.
Oh, my God.
She's the queen of the cats.
She's so tiny, so pretty.
So he politely thanked her, and then he was like, hi, what the fuck is going on? Max is absolutely destroyed by this. He told her...
catatonic.
Oh, no, I've made a mistake. You know what? That's at the end. So he's like, what the fuck is going on? And she's like, I don't know. What do you mean? Is it weird? And he was like, also, quick question. How can you talk? And she's like, seriously, don't worry about it. He's like, oh, okay. She's like, that's just none of your business, is it?
You can't just ask people how they talk.
Yeah, that's weird. You're the weird one. You're in my house.
Yeah.
So then she clapped her little paws.
Oh, no!
They were so soft, made no noise.
Oh, it's like that thing when cats like beg. And
Yeah.
they do the like. Meow, meow.
Yes.
I tried to make that auditory, but there's no way to do it. Yeah.
Or when they like try to catch string.
Yeah.
So she clapped her little paws and ordered supper to be served. She also ordered the cat chorus to shut up. She was like,
dinner is served, and they just open a cage full of mice and they all fucking run everywhere.
The cat's eyes go super big and they just fucking lose it.
My liege. You must act like a lady.
So at this point she was like, cat chorus, shut up. She says, our guest doesn't understand what you're singing, so you sound crazy. But you know, in my language, it's quite beautiful.
So she speaks English.
Yeah.
She's bilingual.
Yeah.
Cat and English.
She speaks cat in English.
Okay.
The floating hands from the Addams family brought in 2 dishes, one containing stewed pigeon, and the other a fricassee of fat mice. At first, seeing the mice dish, the prince was reluctant to eat anything, but the little cat was like, oh, don't worry, once we realized a human was dining with us, the cooks made your meal in a separate kitchen, so there's no, like, cross-contamination. We have a human kitchen for human food, so don't worry about that. This mice is for us. It is delicious, and you are missing out, but it's for us. He's like, oh, okay. And then so he eats his stewed pigeon, and it's delicious, and they have, like, a nice meal together. Oh, she looks suspicious.
A pigeon isn't...
Not cat food?
I mean, it's not cat food. It's also not the most human food.
I do think that back then it was
Back
people
then in the olden times.
in the horse times. As they ate, he noticed the little white cat was wearing a bracelet, which is hilarious.
Aw.
But then he
And
realized
she's just chewing on it.
then he realized that there was a portrait hanging on the bracelet. Probably like a small one, like a charm.
Mm-hmm.
Not like a big one. That would be ridiculous. He asked if he could see it, and she's like, okay. And so she gave him her little paw. And then he realized that the portrait looked almost identical to him. But before he could ask anything about it, she like sighed sadly, and he was like, oh, she doesn't want to talk about it. Okay. And so he like dropped it for now. But they had a bunch of other things to talk about. In fact, he soon realized he soon realized that they actually had a lot in common, and they shared a lot of the same interests. And she surprisingly seemed to know a lot about what was happening in the world, so she could keep up with like political commentary and stuff. And he's like, why is this cat so smart and interesting and funny?
This cat listens to NPR.
This cat listens to NPR.
National Purring Radio.
Ah! It's just a bunch of purrs. And she's like, too true. Too true. Well, that was too defensive. Whoa. They are on one tonight. After dinner, they went to another room, which was fitted up as a theater, and a bunch of cats danced and acted for their amusement, which I bet was fun. I would like to see
really
that.
Fun.
After that, the white cat said goodnight, and he was led to a beautiful bedroom where the hands helped him undress and tucked him in, and he slept soundly.
I do wonder about the other brothers.
What's their adventure?
He's being wooed by a cat.
Yeah, and they're like at a pet shop.
They're already home.
Yeah.
Playing PlayStation.
Teaching that dog how to sit.
Giving that dog a makeover.
Aw, cute. I definitely wouldn't get that dog until like the last day.
Really?
I'd be afraid of bonding with it for a whole year. Okay.
But love makes one beautiful.
Yeah, the dog's going to bond to them and then he's going to give it to their father. No, I'd wait until the very last moment.
I would hire somebody to get the dog for me.
Foster it for a year.
They have so many gems.
Bond. The next morning, he was woken up by noise and confusion outside of his window. And he like dressed really quickly in a hunting costume. And then he went down to see what they were doing. And he saw that all of the cats were outside. Some of the cats were leading greyhounds, which is wild.
How?
I don't know. Some were blowing horns. And the white cat came out and announced that they were going hunting. And he's like, really? The hands dressed me in a hunting outfit, so I assumed.
That happens in Ella Enchanted. I just remembered. Go on.
This is Ellen. You got me. The prince looked around to see which horse he'd be riding, and the floating hands led him to a wooden horse, and then, waited, apparently expecting him to mount it. And at first he was kind of indignant and was like, okay, very funny. I'm not getting on this weird wooden horse. And they all started to, push him, and he's like, stop it, hands. This is the toy, and I'm a man. And then all of a sudden they started to pull him up over by force. And he's like, Jesus, these hands are strong. They basically carried him like a baby, mounted him on top of it. And then the wooden horse took off at breakneck speed. And he was like, Jesus, all right, calm down. So then he's just riding on this wooden horse. The white cat herself was riding what?
Bigger cat?
A bigger cat? A tiger.
No, just a slightly larger house cat.
Nice. She was riding a monkey.
Oh.
At one point...
That seems wrong.
Why?
I can't explain why, but that seems deeply wrong. Okay. If I saw a monkey riding a cat, I would be like, yeah, that makes sense. But a cat riding a monkey feels so wrong.
But imagine he's carrying her like a backpack.
You can't carry a cat like a backpack. They hate that.
No. So she has her little paws, her front paws wrapped around his neck, and her back paws are around his waist, and she's strapped in like a backpack.
No, but cats hate that.
No, she likes it. I hate to correct you, but it's right here in the story. She likes it.
Counterpoint. The monkey has one of those little baby Bjorns for cats that I have. He's just walking, and he's got a cat strapped to his chest.
This actually does kind of fit with the next point, because at one point, she's like, oh, look at that eagle's nest. We should get those eggs. We should get them eggs. And then her eyes, blew out, and then the monkey... And then the monkey climbed all the way up a tree, and she was able to get them eggs.
Ooh, gotta get them eggs.
She's just jittering at a bunch of baby eagles. The hunt was very fun for the prince. He thought this was great. And afterwards, they had dinner together as before, and after that, she offered him a crystal goblet to drink from. And later on, he thought there must have been some sort of drug in that goblet, because as soon as he drank, he forgot everything except how much fun he was having with the white cat. And before he knew it, almost the entire year had passed.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Not cool, white cat.
I think that he's fucking blaming her for just having fun. One day, the white cat came to him and said, do you know that you have only 3 days left to look for the little dog for your father, and your brothers have found lovely ones? And he's like, no. What? Not only had he run out of time to find the perfect dog, but the castle was more than 3 days away, so he was never gonna make it. He lost. That was his whole inheritance. Damn it.
He's gonna have to ride the monkey.
Give me the monkey. And she's like, no, that's a very small monkey.
He'll die.
That's a capuchin.
Oh no, she's so small.
She's very tiny.
A cat the size of a squirrel.
But the cat was like, don't worry. She said, quote, I am your friend and will make everything easy for you. You can still stay here for a day, as the good wooden horse can take you to your country in 12 hours. So it's a fast horse.
Fast horse.
As for the dog, she handed him an acorn. I said
not
that.
a dog.
I said that for the wrong inflections. As for the dog, don't worry about it. She handed him an acorn. At first, the prince...
Not a dog. I just really feel like we need to state that that's not a dog. That's an acorn.
At first, he was like, ha, very funny.
I know that this isn't a dog.
That's not a dog.
I've seen a lot of dogs in my time.
That's an acorn.
You thought you could trick me.
But she was like, no, listen to it. And he was like, what? And she's like, listen to it. And she put her paw up to her ear. So he put the acorn up to his ear. And as soon as he did, he heard a tiny voice say,
you look so stupid right now.
He heard a tiny voice say, quote, bow wow. The prince was so happy, because if this dog could fit in an acorn, it was for sure the tiniest dog ever, which was one of his father's stipulations.
Was it?
He said, I need a small, pretty dog. And he only took the small part, literally.
Mm.
So the cat told him not to open the acorn until he was before his father, or else the little dog would get cold on the journey.
Oh.
And it was so small. So the next day, he very sadly said goodbye, and he left on the wooden horse. And he was the first to arrive to the castle, where he had agreed to meet his brothers, and they came soon after. And he told them about his adventures, and they told him about theirs, but he didn't tell them about the teeny tiny little acorn dog. In fact, he heavenly insinuated that a turnspit dog, which is a short-legged dog breed that was used to turn a wheel to cook meat.
I'm picturing a dachshund.
I'm picturing a corgi.
Oh.
But he was like, yeah, he heavily insinuated that this turnspit dog was the dog he was going to present. And this stubby little weirdo...
No, be nice to him.
I wrote that and I felt sad as I was reading. Anyway, this stubby little weirdo was a good boy. Yes, he was. He was such a good boy. But the brothers had brought far prettier, far tinier little puppies for their father, so they were pretty sure they were shoo-ins, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they all went to their father's great hall together, and the 2 older brothers presented their teeny tiny little dogs, and no one could decide which was prettier, because all dogs are precious angels, and this is an unfair competition. And they were already thinking about dividing the kingdom equally between them, when the youngest stepped forward and held up the acorn. And he cracked it open, and then, there, on a white cushion inside the acorn, was a dog so tiny it could jump through a ring.
Aw.
And everybody was like, what is that? They're like squinting, like, it's a teeny tiny little dog. Good show, my lord.
Good news. He's brought a minuscule dog.
Their noses are all scrunched up and they're just like squinting so hard.
Good heavens.
I say.
That dog is so small.
Teeny tiny. But doth it bite? Aye, doth it. So the prince laid the little dog on the ground, and the dog got up and began to dance. I imagine it started doing the Charleston.
And it started barking so tiny.
Bow wow. Of course, the king realized that this was the obvious winner.
He's so small.
And that was a stipulation.
He doesn't even get out a magnifying glass to see how cute it is?
Nope. But he didn't want to give up his kingdom, so he announced that because they had all done such a great job, he had another task for them. This time they were going to be given a year to bring back a piece of muslin so fine that it could be drawn through the eye of a needle. Mm. And the youngest prince was like, okay. Well, I was clearly the winner, but I guess it would be rude to argue. So he got on his wooden horse, and he rode back at full speed to the White Cat's castle.
Oh.
The White Castle, if you will. Quote, you're going to have to prepare yourself, Max.
I'm not ready.
She was asleep in a little basket on a white satin cushion. But when she heard his voice, she jumped up and mewed happily. She lives in a castle. I love that she doesn't sleep in a big bed. She sleeps in a tiny little basket.
She would hate a big bed.
So she ran up to him and she was like, I thought I'd never see you again. I'm so happy that you're here. And he stroked and petted her and told her all about how well her little acorn dog had done. And he's like, he really was best in show. Good job. And she's like, thanks. I love that dog. It's really good.
Where's he at?
He with your dad? So you won? I noticed you're not wearing a crown. And he's like, yeah, well, my dad, he gave me another impossible task because he obviously doesn't want to give up his seat. And literally nobody asked him to, but now we're doing this weird competition and we're all too polite to tell him we don't want to do it because we'd rather just wait for him to die, like normal. Anyway, it's a whole thing. And the white cat was like, okay, so you have to have a piece of muslin that can go through the eye of a needle. You know, I have some cats that are real good at sewing. And he's like, that's true? She's like, yeah. Why? He's like, well, no reason.
How?
Yeah, it just feels like a hard job for a cat. No thumbs.
They don't even have thumbs.
No thumbs. Anyway, but she was like, listen, I'm going to put my best cats on this. Don't worry about it. They are seamstresses and they are great. So, in the meantime, why don't you wait here while they work? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. I would love that. And then the hands appeared and then took them to a long gallery that overlooked the river. And through the windows, they saw a beautiful firework display, much like in 50 Shades of Grey. Or 50 Shades Darker, I guess, is where he proposes. And all the villains are standing there for some reason, watching.
Huh.
So they started like watching this beautiful firework display. And they were served a feast, which is what he was really impressed by because it had been a long day and he was very hungry. And then the days passed. And the prince was constantly asking her questions like, how can you talk? And why are you a cat? And she'd always be like, mind your business and don't ask somebody why they're a cat. That's rude.
That's racist.
And then at one point she was like, listen, why don't you just make up whatever it's clearly bothering you. Why don't you just make up your own story? Whatever you want to believe, just believe it. if it's so bothering you, I'm fine.
I do feel like it's good that he's asking questions because it feels like he's falling in love with a cat, and that's a problem.
I say later that it does sound like he's trying so hard to justify the fact that he definitely wants to fuck a cat.
Yeah.
Okay. The prince was happy with her, though, so he didn't ask her any more questions. When the year was almost gone, she presented him a walnut and was like, it's time to go, bye. And he's like, what? Thank you for the walnut, I guess. He took the walnut and was guided to a chariot of gold, covered in jewels and drawn by 12 snow-white horses. 100 chariots followed, each drawn by 8 horses, filled with officers in splendid uniforms, and 1,000 guards surrounding the procession. Which sounds like he's marching on his father's kingdom. Like, this sounds like a declaration of war, but it's not. He was like, how can I possibly thank you for all you've done? Like, ask for anything. I want to give you whatever you want. Ask for anything. Ask me anything, right? Anything you want, I'll give it to you. She was like, I'm not going to ask for that dick. Thank you. Anyway, she said, quote, it shows the goodness of your heart that you should care so much for a little white cat who is good for nothing but to catch mice. But you must not stay. And then he kissed her poopy little paw and he set out.
I know that there's going to be another challenge, but so far, here's my solution to these riddles.
Okay.
First one, you got to Emperor's New Clothes it. You come up to your dad and you're like, look at this tiny dog that I found.
Oh.
And you hold out your empty hand and then he has to pretend that there's a tiny dog in there or else admit that he's going blind because he's old.
Everybody who's young could see this dog. I feel like the brothers would be like, we're young, we don't see that dog. That plan would fall apart so easily.
But they're older than him. They're also going blind.
Only people my age can see this dog. And there's like a person in the crowd that's like, I went to school with you and I don't see that dog.
Yeah, well, you're an idiot.
Well,
have you been eating your carrots? I don't think so.
So what about the muslin?
The muslin, big ring.
Right.
They didn't specify a size for their ring.
Needle. The eye of a needle.
The eye of a needle, big needle.
Big needle. This podcast brought to you by Big Needle. They don't want you to know the truth. He made it to his father's kingdom in half the time it took the wooden horse to get there. But this time he was so late that his brothers had already presented their muslin. Both had procured very fine pieces that could fit through the eye of, like, a large needle. Right?
And then the third brother brought out the biggest needle of all.
Carrying a needle over his shoulder. But the king had insisted on using a special needle that was super, super small. And of course, both sons had failed. And they were like, well, that sucks. Like, all right. But the youngest son ran up and was like, wait, I have another nut. And then he cracked open the walnut. But inside, there was a hazelnut. And so he cracked the hazelnut. And inside, there was a cherry stone. And everyone kind of started to laugh at him. And he's like, no, it's fine. It's fine. The cat wouldn't lead me astray. So he cracked open the cherry stone. And inside, there was a corn kernel.
Oh.
And then inside the corn kernel, there was a grain of wheat. And inside that, there was a millet seed.
And
he was starting to think, is this white cat fucking with me? Is this a big, am I a joke to
have
you?
I gotten fooled by a cat girl again?
Oh my god, I can't believe this has happened again. When he felt an invisible cat's claw scratch his hand, he was like, ow. All right, well, maybe that was a sign I should keep going, which I think is denial. So he opened the millet seed, and inside, there was a piece of muslin that was 400 ells long, woven in beautiful colors and patterns, and was so fine that it went through the eye of the needle 6 times with ease.
Oh.
The king turned pale, and the other princes looked really sad because no one could deny that the youngest son had won. But the king was like, okay, but none of you are married. So, does this even count? You single losers have one more task. Whoever finds the prettiest bride in a year will get the kingdom. No takebacks. And I get to decide whether or not they're hot. Perfect plan.
You gotta find a woman that is hot objectively. Also that I find hot, and also that you find hot.
And also that she doesn't know she's hot. Good luck, losers. The prince knew he had already won the kingdom fair and square twice over, but he didn't argue. The story is like, I guess he was too polite. So he simply got back in his chariot and he went back to the little white cat. This time, she was ready for him, and the path was strewn with flowers. And he was like, hi. And she's like, ran up to him. Yeah, was super excited. And he told her all about what happened. And he said, quote, "The fact is that my father is so loth to part with his crown that it would be no pleasure to me to take it." He's like, obviously he doesn't want to give it to me. And I don't want it. Why is he doing this? And she was like, well, it's just as well to try and deserve it. Okay? So, like, obviously you are doing your best here. And you would make a good king. You have tenacity. Mm-hmm. I like you. I have fun hanging out with you year after year. It's nice for me. Little white cat. Scratches all day long.
Meow, meow, meow.
Meow, meow, meow. Indeed. Bye-bye. And she said, if you, for your next task, have to find, like, a lovely princess to take back, I'll keep an eye out for you, okay? I'll find a lovely princess for you. I'll have my cats go out, ask around, okay? In the meantime, she had ordered a, quote, battle between my cats and the river rats on purpose to amuse you.
Aw.
I'm going to let them fight some river rats. And the year slipped by even more pleasantly than the first two, because he had found a new game, which is watching cats fight rats for money. In that third year, he started asking even more questions about why could she talk. And he told her, quote, "Perhaps you are a fairy, or has some enchanter changed you into a cat?" And at this point I said, he's trying so hard to be like, you're not actually a cat, right? You're, like, actually a human woman? Or,
right?
Like, some sort of humanoid thing. You're not just a cat who can talk, right?
I'm not the weird one.
I'm not super horned up for a cat, right?
Right?
And she was like, just mind your business. All right? Soon the year was almost over, and the cat came to him and told him that she had found a lovely princess for him to take home. She smiled at him and was like, it's time. And then she handed him a sword and said, cut off my head.
No!
And he had that exact reaction. He was horrified and was like, no. And she was like, what's the big deal? Cut off my head. Do it. Do it. Cut off my head. You're being really weird about cutting off my head. Like, what's wrong? And he was like crying and was like, you're going to have to ask me for literally anything else. All right. And she's like, nope, this is what I want. Cut off my head. Cut off my head. And then crying and with trembling hands, which isn't great, he cut off her little white head.
No.
But to his astonishment and delight and extreme relief, a lovely princess appeared before him.
A human one?
Yep.
No, it was just
A
another
cat.
cat.
A cat with a little crown. Oh. She got demoted. She was queen
He
of
keeps
the
cutting
cats.
off her head until she becomes the handmaiden.
A kitten. In an instant, the doors opened and a bunch of knights and ladies ran in, each carrying a cat skin and cheering. They hugged her.
Horrifying. They killed her subjects.
They hugged her and kissed her hand, congratulating her on being once more returned to her natural state as a straight-up hottie.
A human hottie.
Yeah, that's
Even better.
important. He's like, oh, thank God. She explained her story to the stunned prince. When she was a tiny baby, her mother, the queen, had gone on an adventure and had stumbled upon a fairy's castle. She had heard tales of the fruit in this castle. Apparently they were the best fruits in the world, and she was obsessed with tasting them. So at first, she and her subjects tried knocking, but nobody answered, and she's like, okay. So they tried to, like, open the door themselves, and it was locked. So then she tried climbing the walls, but no matter how many ladders they stacked on top of each other, the walls were always just a little too high, and that was very frustrating. So that night, they camped outside the walls, and the mother woke up to see an ugly old lady sitting next to her bedside. The old woman told her that the castle belonged to her and her sisters, and even though they were super annoyed that this woman wasn't taking the fucking hint and leaving their lawn, they would like to make a deal. They would give her a bunch of delicious fruit to take with her if she would trade them her baby girl. Like Rapunzel. Little Rampion.
Mm-hmm.
The queen tried to negotiate, but the old woman wouldn't budge, and feeling like she'd die without the fruit, so she'd be losing her daughter anyway, she agreed to the terms of the deal. She was allowed into the most beautiful castle she had ever seen, which was the castle the little white cat currently lived in, and she was given a bunch of fruit to take with her back home. And once there, she had to confess to her husband, the king, what she had done. And at first she was like, maybe I don't have to tell him. But then she realized that she had been followed by 5 terrible little dwarfs.
Oh no.
They'd been sent by the fairies to fetch the babe, so she had to come clean. And the king was outraged, and he chased the dwarfs away. And then he locked his wife and daughter up in a tower to protect them. But the fairy sisters sent a dragon, who ate a bunch of people and set fire to everything, as dragons do. So he finally had to give up his baby for the good of the country. Because he's like, I mean, I guess I am your ruler. My baby for the lives of everybody who's getting eaten. So the fairy sisters raised the little girl in a tower where she was given the best education a princess could hope for, and she was surrounded by riches and toys and everything that any little girl would ever want. But she was never allowed outside, and she had no companions except for a talking parrot and a little talking dog.
Aw.
That doesn't come into the story. I don't know why that's a detail. Every day, the sisters would mount a dragon and come visit her, and that was the company she kept. But one day, when she was a teenager, she was looking outside of the window of her tower, and she saw a handsome young prince walking by. He had been hunting in the forest surrounding her little prison. And they started to talk through the window, and they fell in love. And he came back day after day, and after a little while, he was like, "Hi, will you be my wife?" And she was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Cool. You're going to have to come out of there, though." And she's like, "Oh." And so she was like, "What could I use to get out of this tower?" And then she realized they had given her a bunch of flax for her spinning wheel. And so she spun together a big rope, and she built basically a rope ladder so she can get down. But as she was climbing down her rope ladder, the fairy sisters showed up on their dragon. And before the prince could defend himself, the dragon swallowed him up right in front of her.
Aw.
Yeah.
Rest in peeps.
Rest in peeps. The fairies were furious with her because they had wanted her to marry the king of the dwarfs, but she had refused, and now she was trying to run away. So for her being disobedient, they cursed her and all her lords and ladies to be cats, and they turned the people of lesser rank invisible, except for their hands. So that's what they're doing. And then they told her history. Up to this point, she thought that she was their daughter, and they're basically, "Also, you're adopted." And she was like, "What a way to tell me." Why? And they told her the only way she'd regain her natural form was to win the love of a prince who resembled her former fiancé. So that's a little bracelet that looks just like him. All the little loose ends are being tied up nicely. The prince told her at this point, he was like, "I love you more than anyone. So would you be my wife?" Because I love that it broke the spell, but like, be my wife. And she was like, "Okay, I'll be your wife." And she's like, "But we have to go and get your kingdom first, okay? We got to go to your dad because it's time." And so they climbed into their chariot together, and they rushed back to the castle. And the story was like, they had a great time because she was interesting, and now she's hot. And he's like, "This is great. I already loved you. Now, thank God, it's socially acceptable."
So glad you're not a cat anymore.
Oh my God. This is like the Mulan
Yes.
shed. But when they got there, the princess got into a chair carried by 4 guards, hewn out of crystal, with silk curtains, and she threw them around herself so that she couldn't be seen. She was going to save that for later. The prince saw his brothers, each with a beautiful princess of their own, and when they were like, "Did you find a bride? Where is she?" He said, "Even better, I found a cat." And they were like, "Oh, word." Okay. So they all went to go see their father. The king was forced to admit that the 2 princesses the older princes had found were beautiful, god damn it. And he asked his younger son if he had come alone, at which point the prince was like, "No, I'm not alone." He pointed to the crystal chair, and he's like, "In that crystal chair, you'll find a little white cat, quote, which has such soft paws and mews so prettily that I am sure you will be charmed with it." Nobody else knows this joke.
No, that's a weird joke.
This is a weird thing that only he and the princess know about. So the king smiled and approached the chair, but with one touch from the princess, the crystal, quote, shivered into 1,000 splinters, because our girl knows how to make a dramatic entrance. And she stood in all her dazzling beauty before them, and she saluted the king gracefully, which I don't think you can do gracefully. And then she said, "Sire, I don't want your shitty kingdom." You're obviously... Woo! She's like, "You obviously still want to be king. So it's weird that you initiated this strange competition. I actually have 6 kingdoms of my own. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give 1 kingdom to each of your sons. So they'll all have their own kingdom, and you can stop this weird bit that everybody knows what you're doing. Got it? So now everybody gets a kingdom, except for us. We have 3. Cool? We're off to get married."
Damn.
Yeah.
Showed up just to flex on his dad.
That's 100% what happened.
Fuck, that's cool.
She was so mad at him. And the last line of the story is, The king and all the courtiers could not conceal their joy and astonishment, and the marriage of the 3 princes were celebrated at once. The festivities lasted several months, and then each king and queen departed to their own kingdom and lived happily ever after. The end. This does beg the question, when this man dies, which will probably be tomorrow, who's gonna take his kingdom?
Yeah, who cares?
I know.
The question that I beg of thee.
Doth ask it.
Do you think he was like weird about cats for the rest of his life?
You think she was weird about cats?
Do you think they were weird about cats?
Every time she saw him petting a cat, she's like, what the fuck is this?
Who's this?
I'm sorry, we haven't met. I'm the queen.
I'm his wife. I was thinking more like, he's like, oh, a cat. And then he's like, huh. You know what I mean?
What I was thinking was she is a regal princess, but he's seen her butthole for the last 3 years. Cats just display that so proudly.
And that's love. Can you really say that you've left someone if you haven't looked at their butthole for 3 years?
Well, Max, you answer me.
No.
Nope. Okay, so here's some notes on Madame Comtesse d'Aulnoy. D'Aulnoy? The Madame Comtesse d'Aulnoy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Missouri. Her name was Marie Catherine Legumel de Barneville, Comtesse d'Aulnoy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to call her Marie. She was born in 1650 and she died in 1705. Her story, I just looked her up to be like, okay, like, I want to know a little bit about her. Like, she was writing stories. She was writing books and publishing books in, like, the 1600s. So, like, you know, I want to know a little bit more about her. Her fucking life is insane. Not only did she invent the term fairy tale, we only say that because of her. She wrote a bunch of amazing folktales that we tell on this podcast all the time. Like, she's the origin of them. But also, her life was insane. At 15 years old, she was married off to a man who was 31 years older than her. His name was Francois de la Motte Baron d'Aulnoy. When she was 19, her husband was accused of treason by 2 men who may have been lovers of Marie and Marie's mother.
Huh.
Yeah. Her husband spent 3 years in the Bastille, which is like a big prison, before he finally convinced the court of his innocence, and his accusers were executed instead of him. So it took him a while to be like, I didn't do that, but she didn't want to be married to this man who was so much older than her, and so she like tried to get him executed. Marie's mother fled to England to escape arrest, and a warrant was also served for Marie's arrest. At this point, she's 21, 22? But she escaped out a window as they were coming to get her, and then she ran to a church, and she ended up taking refuge in a convent. And after like a couple years of this, she left the convent and then possibly became a spy.
What?
Eventually, she was allowed to return to Paris, and people were like, why was she allowed to return to Paris if there was an active warrant out for her arrest? And they were like, because she was a good spy, and that was her repayment, was they cleared her arrest record.
Wait, this sounds so much like the Count of Saint Germain.
This does sound like the Count of Saint Germain. I looked at, okay, I'm going to talk about it at the end. She hosted salon gatherings in Paris where super famous and powerful people would regularly attend, right?
Wait, is it her from The Thing?
I genuinely think it might be.
Oh, shit.
But one of the articles I read said, quote, in 1699, Madame d'Aulnoy's friend Angelique Tiquette was beheaded for having a servant retaliate against Angelique's abusive husband, also from a forced marriage. So, like, she straight up got somebody to murder her abusive piece of shit husband. The servant was hanged for shooting and wounding Counselor Tiquette. Madame d'Aulnoy escaped persecution despite her alleged involvement and discontinued involvement in the Paris social scene for 20 years. So she was reportedly like part of this plot to murder her friend's abusive husband because she's against that shit.
Good.
Later on, she published 12 books, including 3 pseudo-memoirs, 2 fairy tale collections, and 3 historical novels. She wrote a bunch of travel stories for an anthology about her amazing life, and even though people thought they were mostly bullshit, they were super entertaining, and so she was super famous. She died in 1705. And the Count of Saint Germain was probably born in 1691, right? So there's like there's very short amount of time that there could be crossover. But I like to think that they met at least once because this did sound exactly like the Count of Saint Germain. And
so similar.
He had that interaction with a woman who was very old at that point. It could have been her at the end of her life. Who knows? And I said that That would be one hell of a pair. Wattpad, where?
Oh my god. Oh, we are forced to stand.
We are forced to stand. Guys, go listen to the Off Topic on the Count of Saint Germain. It is fantastic. But I genuinely think, I thought about her the entire time I was reading that. I was like, I think this is her. This has to be her.
I wonder if it's, I'm going to Google really quickly and see if anything pops up.
I tried. Nothing popped up.
Damn.
I know. Anyway, she's fascinating. She had an incredible life. She's cool as fuck. And she's also for the girls, so.
Hell yeah.
Keep that in mind. But that's the little white cat. Sorry, that's the white cat.
No, that's Madame d'Aulnoy.
Madame d'Aulnoy.
That was great. I had a great time.
Yeah. We laughed. We cried. You cried.
That cat's so small. She's so small.
Guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Sort of the Story with me, Janey.
And also, I'm here.
I was waiting for you to jump in and introduce yourself.
Why would I introduce myself at the end of the episode? I've been here the whole time.
Max. Guys, just a heads up for our plans. We're currently recording this on May 4th, but we just wanted to give you a quick heads up that we will not be releasing any regular episodes on the main feed in the entire month of June. We're taking a summer break.
Woohoo!
Whee! Max and I need it. We need a break. We love you.
Not from you.
This isn't about you.
No.
Okay? We want you to know that we love you very much, but mommy and mommy need a break. And we're gonna go take one.
Let's not introduce the concept of calling us mommy and mommy.
Mommy and mommy need some alone time. Right?
No. Let's not do that.
We're gonna show each other our buttholes
for 3 years. No, only a month. And then we'll be back in July.
We will be back in July. In the meantime, we will be releasing our June bonus episode as scheduled. Everything's going to be fine. And if you were like, I really want new episodes, I'm sad that they're not releasing stuff, you can absolutely get them by joining the Patreon. And when you join the Patreon at the $7 level, you will be an official story baby and you will get our entire backlog of bonus episodes. And there will be 16 at that point, which is quite a lot to get you through the month.
Yes. Also, you can listen to the old episodes.
Yeah. That's allowed.
There's so many of them.
You can also text us at any time.
It's weird
that we can't reply.
It's weird that we can't reply. You can text us or you can send us an email, sortofthestory@gmail.com. Basically the same thing. Honestly, a little bit easier for us, I think.
No, it's not. The text goes straight to my phone. Not my phone, but it goes straight to the app on my phone.
My email goes straight to the phone.
Yeah. What I like about the texts is genuinely, at first I was kind of weirded out that I couldn't reply because I was like, it's not really texting. But people have been sending truly hilarious, weird little clips from the episodes they're listening to. They're like, okay, I'm at minute 29:36. And I'm like, what the fuck, Lady Macbeth? And it's been making me laugh so hard because I'm like, I feel like I'm here with you. Guys, aww. I'm having a great time with the texts, okay? And I have been sharing them on our Instagram stories. So please continue to do that. That's very fun for me. Also, rate and review this podcast, please, and introduce it to your friends, please, and just, help get the word out, because we want more people to listen to this. We want to say the word butthole into the ears of so many more people in the world.
Help us to...
Ew! Mommy,
you have to cut that. You have to cut that.
We're not gonna. I can't believe you said that.
I also can't believe I said that. Why did I say that? I know this is being recorded.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to beep it. So, anyway, if you want to know what Max actually said, fucking join the Discord. We'll probably tell people in there. Because
it was very funny, but also I shouldn't have said it.
It's really par for the course. Anyway, so do all that, please. And you're still going to have episodes for the rest of May. Don't worry. We're telling you 2 episodes in advance. Just to so you don't get scared.
Don't get scared.
Don't be scared. Mommy, you're fine. And yeah, so we'll see you next week with episode 133. I'm 33. Oh my God. It's all connected.
I'm 29.
Oh my God. So yeah, we will see you next week with another episode. But until then, we hope you have a wonderful week and we love you very much. Goodbye.
Keep Draiglin those Hogneys.
Go fucking Draiglin, little doggy. Goodbye. Max, you have to put it away.
Do I?
Yes. Max is actively playing a phone game.
I'm busy. I thought you were going to take longer to get the mic set up.
It's plugging in. That's all they do.
Why does it take you so long every time then?
I need you to know we've been here for a good 6 minutes already.
Mm-hmm. Why does it take you so long to set up?
I've been set up for at least 4 minutes.
Wow. Well, I'm making a squid, so...
I almost feel like you should put it farther away from you.
No, it's fine. I'm fine.
You can be thinking that Max has no problem. Tell him about the game you're playing.
You make triangles, and then the triangles make shapes.
Isn't that fun?
It's like Minesweeper, but a puzzle. Minesweeper's also a puzzle. I have a long and storied history with mobile games. I can't be trusted with them. I am bad when I have them. I am worse as a person. I have spent so much time and regrettably money.
Oh my god, you've given money to mobile games?
Okay, you pay for a subscription to the New York Times Gaming, so...
That's
I
true.
also do now, but
That's true. I guess you showed me. I pay $6 a month to New York Times.
Yes.
Is it like Candy Crush when people spend hundreds of dollars on like buying new candies to crush? I don't know what that game is.
I would never play Candy Crush.
Why?
Because it's known to be dumb. And also, I feel like it has a movie and I don't like that.
Candy Crush has a movie?
I feel like it does. Does it not?
I don't know.
No. When I was in high school, I got really into this game called Smurfs Village.
Oh, Max, you just judged Candy Crush with your whole chest. Then you followed up with, I played Smurf Village.
Yes. And I spent...
Money
on it.
On the Smurfs?
On the Smurfs.
Did they...
Guess how much money I spent on the Smurfs?
I'm afraid to guess.
Guess.
$100.
More.
Oh my god! How much?
It was over the course of like 5 years, but it was $350.
Oh my god, that's so much money for the Smurfs.
Yeah.
What'd they use that money for? Crimes?
They built a thriving agricultural system.
You know what? Good for them.
Yeah.
Get that dough.
It was a farming game.
It's a farming game?
Yeah.
Smurf Village is basically farmland? What's that farming? Farm what?
Farmville, but cooler, because everyone knows Farmville sucks.
Oh my god.
I played a game where you make an aquarium for a while.
Was it the one that you were playing in our living room for the past like 4 years?
What?
You had a whole aquarium in there that was just like
Oh,
empty.
no, that was real life. No. No, I can't be trusted. I can't have them. Anytime I am playing a game, I'm committing a crime against myself and my personhood.
Well, good news, guys. She found a new game.
I did. And you use triangles and you make shapes.
You gotta tell them the name now because they all want to play it.
Well, so it's one of the New York Times games called Vertex. I got an off-brand version called... What is it called? Star Art. Drawing and Relaxing.
Start. It's called Star Art.
And don't play it. And it's bad.
But if you do play it, hit her up on the Discord and let her know that you stand in solidarity.
I don't want to talk to anyone about this. This is the most shameful thing about me.
Screenshot your level.
I'm Captain Holt playing Quasi Cupcakes.
Quasi Cupcakes.
A lot of the time I am like, my time is valuable. I need to like treat myself with the esteem and confidence and respect that I have for myself as a person. And then I see like a game where you have to match two things. And I'm like, I'll just do this for 10 hours. I'm worthless.
I can match two things.
I love matching two things.
Well, you know,
oh my God, when you match two things and then another two things matches at the same time because you like switched them.
Don't you need to get your
God.
fix. They market those games to like the elderly a lot where they'll say like this helps stave off Alzheimer's or like this is
which isn't not true.
It also feels so insidious.
It is insidious. It is insidious.
I genuinely, it makes me like so queasy when they're like, hey, do you want to not have Alzheimer's anymore? Why aren't you playing these games?
You should be playing Quasi Cupcakes.
Why aren't you playing Quasi Cupcakes? Why aren't you getting a cupcake match?
The good thing is that this game has so many ads that I am only on level 100. It's been 4 days. But if there weren't as many ads, I would be 300-ish with the amount of time that I spent on it. But one of the ads that I've been getting is for a dating app, specifically for people who love mobile games. And that's been a real
What do those people even look like other than you? Do they all look like you?
At the risk of sounding rude, I doubt it.
The cuntiest thing you've ever said, and I love it. That was my shot of serotonin.